And I'm unmuted. Chat, can you hear us? Hello? 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 Testing? Chat?
Hello, 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 hello.
Excellent. Cool. All right. Hello. Oh God. Okay, hold on. This is, okay, so something that I can't figure out how to do is mute the Mix It Up audio for myself. I can mute it for stream, but I hear everybody's like entrance sounds and stuff, so it's so
Oh
distracting.
God.
So
No, it's okay. It's all good.
yeah, okay, so we're good. Okay, all right, cool. I'm gonna show. All right, you guys ready for our It's okay, Markless. Don't apologize. It's literally not your fault. So, okay, cool. All right, hello everyone. Welcome to episode 7 of Friendship and French Roast. This is our very good friend SerenaPariss, and I'm so excited that she's here. I'm so excited to talk to her today. Serena and I have known each other for, I feel like a few years, maybe 4 or 5 years.
I don't even know anymore.
At least 4 years. Yeah, I know that I met you like through like the soup group, and I remember that's like Ikagawa and like through those channels. And so but I feel like we've gotten a lot closer like over the past like year. I feel like we've
Yeah, absolutely, for
yeah,
sure.
spent some time at conventions together and stuff. And so yeah, so I'm like really excited to talk to you because I'm really excited to just get to know you and your journey a little bit more. So we can just like jump right into it. You've got your sweet tea. I've got my
Yeah.
I made an iced coffee today because it's hot as balls here.
Oh God, I hate that.
Oh,
It works though.
you've got your Taylor Swift cup. Let's go.
hmm
Hell yeah.
I was like, this is
So
perfect for lady.
I love it. Thank you. Some of the lo-fi songs that I added to this playlist that we're listening to are like Taylor Swift lo-fi songs. So I
Good. I
also
love it.
so Serena is also a fellow Swiftie, obviously a fellow streamer. Serena works very hard. She's one of the most hardworking streamers that I know. She puts so much into all of her stuff that she does, and when she goes to conventions and stuff, she's always creating content. Not only is she live on Twitch, she posts to TikTok, X, Threads, Twitter, whatever the fuck you call it. But Serena does so much, and all of her content is always really great and excellent. And if you guys want to follow her, you can do !today, and that will give you the link to her Beacons website, and you can follow her on all of the things there. But Serena
Yeah,
Paris.
I'm everywhere and anywhere.
Yes.
Thank
Yes, you can
you.
follow her everywhere. So, thanks everybody for being here today. So, Serena,
Yes, ma'am.
yes. So, content creation and Twitch. I would love to know, like, how did you get into Twitch, and like what brought you to Twitch? Like, what's your origin story when it comes to
Okay,
Twitch?
1 second.
Yeah,
Your mouse is right on my face.
we fixed it. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I just seen it in chat. I was like, that's gonna be so
Thank
distracting to
you
me, and I'm
so
sure
much
it's
for
distracting
telling
to
me.
you.
I'm
No,
so sorry. That was
I
so
wouldn't have
rude.
noticed. I'm really glad that someone saw it in
Someone
chat.
said it. Okay,
Um,
great. Thank
well,
you.
guys,
Thank you.
yeah, of course. I just want
Uh,
to start off too saying, good morning, guys. Welcome in.
mhm.
I'm not a morning person, but I am a morning person for the lovely lady.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much, lady, for having me be a part of this.
Mhm.
Yeah. Good morning, friends. I see a bunch of you guys in chat. Thank you guys for hanging out and vibing. Hi, Marcellus and Ika, Hannah, Story, lovely, everybody who's hanging out. Thank you guys for being here this morning. I don't know if you guys are morning people, but I'm not. But like I said, I'm here for
I
lady, and I'm really
appreciate
excited
it.
to be invited here.
Yeah.
So what got me started in content creation is when I was about 15, 16 years old. Um, I had a lot of self-doubt in myself.
Mhm.
I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Um, I was really a teenager. Like
Mhm.
every
Yeah.
teenager, it goes through those struggles of like, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? I ended up deciding I wanted to try to do modeling and acting, and we got
Yeah.
into it. We got a portfolio started. I was able to travel the world. I've done some photo shoots in Colorado, in Houston, um, Hawaii, California, things like that. I've been internationally published. We've been in a
That's so
couple
cool.
movies, short films, things like that. Nothing crazy, nothing
That's
super
still
elaborate.
so cool though.
Yeah, yeah. Seeing myself on billboards has been one of the craziest moments for me. It's just very surreal,
Wow. That's so cool.
Um, and then like that was about 15, 16. And then COVID happened in my early 20s. I can't remember exactly when. And that's when I swore I was going to be famous for modeling and acting and stuff. But
Yeah,
COVID happened and everything shut down. I live in a
sure.
small town in Texas, and there's no need for modeling and acting here. So everything else I was doing, I was traveling for.
Sure.
Um, but when COVID happened, they stopped taking people for auditions if you weren't in that town. I think it was like a 60-mile radius. You had to go and get COVID testing, and then you had to audition the next day. And that was just too much back and forth for me,
Oh,
even for
yeah.
auditionings. Because when you audition, it's not paid. You
Yeah.
go in and you
Mhm.
audition, and you hope you get it.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I can't really afford to do this anymore. I don't know what to do. And you weren't really supposed to go out and travel or do anything during COVID anyways.
Mhm.
So I had a mental breakdown. I was like, okay, well, how
Yes.
how do I get how do I get in front of the camera? Like, what am I supposed to do with my life? I can't model and act anymore during COVID. And then my boyfriend Monstar was like, "Have you heard of Twitch? You hang out and make a community. You can play games, you can chat, you can cook, you can do whatever you want,
Yeah.
and you're still in front of the camera. It's totally a different world, but still, I'm still here in front of the camera. I love cameras. I love being in front of the camera. I like
Yeah.
taking pictures. I love acting. I love streaming. I love all of that. So that's really what got me into the Twitch world, but also the content creation world. I've been on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok forever now.
Mhm.
Just here being a silly little goose.
Yeah, I love that so much. You have such a great community too. Like what do you call it? You call it the Serena Kingdom is what you call like your
Yes.
community. Yeah.
So,
You're go ahead.
oh,
Mhm.
go ahead.
You go. You go.
um, So yeah, I mean, I know it's kind of silly for some people, but my whole life I've considered myself a princess. I know that's
Mhm.
probably cringy to some of you
Not
guys,
silly at
but
all.
I
I
don't
love it.
care.
You are a
I'm a
princess.
silly I'm a silly little princess. And I've heard a lot of people talk about their communities and how it's basically like a revolving door. People come in and out, and I like to think of mine as a Serena Kingdom. Like at a castle, people are not there all the time. People go
Mhm.
out and do their own journeys. They go for a day, they go for a month. Sometimes people are gone for a year on their voyage, their journey, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I have a Serena Kingdom. I have royal guards who are my mods, and they
Love that.
protect the kingdom. And we just have a good time.
Yeah, I love that so much. Yeah, I love that you say that about like the kingdom. 'Cause for me, like I'm trying to do this like coffee shop vibe because I used to be a barista and I used to
Oh,
have my
fun.
my regulars who would come in every single day, so it's like I see people every single day, but then sometimes they'll be gone for like you said, a couple of weeks, a month. I might not see them for 3 months or something. And so it's so funny that you say it like that because it's so true. Like on Twitch, like you have so many people that you're connected to and that you see all of the time, but it is very much a revolving door. And it's like, it feels good to see people all the time, and then it's like when somebody's not there, you notice their presence isn't there, so it can get
Yeah.
really hard and kind of get on your mentals a little bit, that it's like, why are people like not coming back, like why are people not here, and it's literally just because people have lives and
Lives,
they're
exactly.
doing other things. So yeah, so it's a really healthy way to look at it, is like it's a revolving door. I love the kingdom analogy so much, that it's
Yeah,
like
thank
people are on
you.
voyages and stuff. That's so cute. So
Yeah, I mean, I've
that's
been doing
awesome.
this for 5 years now, and I've seen people have kids, start families. I've
Yeah.
watched some friends get divorces,
Yeah.
like I've seen it all, and it's just like I'm here and you guys hang out with me when you can, but I don't want anyone to feel pressured to always hang out.
Yeah, for
Because like you said,
sure.
life gets busy, and as a streamer, I love streaming and stuff, but it's very hard to be a viewer sometimes, with
Mm-hmm.
life and work and stuff, so I totally get it. Totally get
Yeah.
it when everyone's busy.
100%. And it's like I want so badly to be able to be in everyone's chats all of of the time. And it's impossible. And it's like once you start doing it too, like as a streamer, I don't know if you experience this, but like as a streamer, once I start spending a lot of time like in people's chats, it starts to get a little bit too overwhelming because
Yeah.
it's like you're trying to keep up on all of the social interaction because we're all socially interacting. Like this is how we socialize, is on Twitch and in Discord and stuff, but like it almost like you're integrating in a whole bunch of different communities, and then it gets to be too much, and you overwhelm yourself, and then you eventually get burned out because I don't know if you're like this, but like I'm a people pleaser, recovering people pleaser.
Amen.
And so it's always like that balancing act of like I don't want to upset anybody, like I want to make sure that I'm giving everybody attention and time, but when you are the focal point of like you are the brand, like you are the product, like you can't be that, like you can't be a friend to everyone, you want to be, but it's like you can't have those deep relationships with every single person. But so yeah, so thinking about it as like this larger thing that like people are doing different things, and you're the center, like you are the queen, you are the princess, like this is come back and visit me whenever you can.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Well, and that's why I like other social media platforms. As much as I love
Mm-hmm.
Twitch and Kick and live streaming wherever you're live streaming, like you said, it's physically impossible to be there for everyone's live streams. But I
Mm-hmm.
like the fact that I can scroll on TikTok and see someone's TikTok, leave a comment. I can go through
Yes.
Twitter, leave a comment on there. I can still keep up with you guys, even if it's not just on live streams.
Mm-hmm.
I try to lurk and support when I can, but like I said, there's so many easy ways to support your friends for free, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not just hanging out in their lives.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. No, it's so true, and it's like you said, it's a lot. I don't want to say easier, but it's more convenient. When you're scrolling on TikTok, you see your friend, and you're like, oh hey, like yeah, let me like, and you genuinely want to because you're like, hey, this is cute, like
Yeah.
let me comment on this. So, yeah. So okay, so we're talking about all the different platforms and stuff. So I have witnessed you, we've spent a lot of time. I feel like we've spent a lot of time together at conventions, and
Yes.
I have witnessed you do cosplays. Like you plan every single day, you do cosplays at conventions. And on top of that, you are creating content while you're there and posting to TikTok and posting to
Yeah.
Twitter. And I am so in awe of you whenever this happens because I go to a convention and I'm so overwhelmed with how many people are there. And I feel like I'm getting
Oh,
better
yeah.
at it, but it's like I feel like maybe part of it now that we're talking is like maybe it's part of your modeling background and your acting background too. Is like you're very charismatic and you are able to approach people really like easily. And I love that about you, and I love being around you because it makes me feel more confident.
Oh, my sweetheart.
Yeah. But I want to know, because you work a full-time job also. I work a part-time job, but it's like you've got
Yeah.
your day job, and then streaming, and then like traveling for conventions and stuff. And then also like planning cosplays. That takes a lot of work. And taking care of all your plushies too, because they all need attention.
Amen.
How do you balance all of it? Like how do you
Oh,
like
shit.
schedule time? And I know we've talked about this a lot, like taking
Yeah.
care of yourself. Like how
Oh.
are you I've seen like you have integrated your walking like into your streams and stuff. Like what are the things that you do to like take care of yourself and like make sure, like how do you balance it all? Like how
Oh god, that's a great question, and I also have to say, that's one of my favorite compliments I get. A lot of people have told me that they like how I create content, how I'm
Mhm.
posting at conventions, and, I feel like I grow a lot while I'm at conventions because
Yeah.
people see me and then they see me in person, you know?
Mhm.
A lot of times I try like you said, I try to plan my cosplays out, and I try to have what I do is I try to batch content before the convention so it's saved in my drafts and stuff, so it's easy for me
Mm.
to just go post it.
Yeah.
Especially if I've done a cosplay already and I'm doing it the next day, the night before I'll post being like, "Hey, Shigo's gonna be at DreamHack, come find me." and everyone who's at DreamHack or seeing DreamHack on Twitter sees it and they realize it's me. So then they'll come up to me the next day and be like, I saw you on Twitter, you know?
Yeah, cute.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to TikTok though, whenever I know I'm going to convention, I try between like a month to 2 months to start creating a note in my notes, and I'll create, DreamHack, TwitchCon, whatever it is. I'll have a separate note for packing, and I'll instantly start putting everything I need in there for packing. I'll have a separate note for TikToks, and then I'll start putting links in there of TikToks I want to try to recreate, who I want to create them with, what day I think that TikTok will be good on. Because like you said, at conventions, it's very overwhelming and you don't want to try to think about what you're doing there. There's
Mm-hmm.
too many people, everyone's looking at you. Something I want to try to get better at is filming in public when people are looking at you.
Yeah.
Conventions is hit or miss because honestly, at conventions, especially DreamHack, TwitchCon, things like that, 80% of us are content creators, maybe a little bit less,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more,
Yeah.
depending. So people, people know that there's gonna be pictures taken, videos taken, things like that. It's a little bit different when you're like out in public at a store or something because people then look at you and they're like,
Yeah,
"Hello,
yeah,
what are you
yeah,
doing?"
exactly. What are you doing with your camera? Like, what are you? Yeah, like people are so nosy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
and then some people don't want to be on camera, and you have
Right.
to be respectful of that. I did a shoot at the carnival like a year and a half ago or whenever it was, and then like little high school boys were like whistling and trying to talk to me, and I was like, I'm gonna go throw up. Like, just be respectful, you know.
Yeah. Gross.
Um, but when it comes to self care, I know it's not a great answer, but I don't do a good job at it.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I do have to say, this past year I've gotten really better at it. Um, for the past 2 years, I've been dealing with a lot of stuff internally,
Hmm.
just dealing with certain things. And I finally got some diagnosis from doctors.
Mm.
Is that okay to talk about?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Whatever you're comfortable
I
talking
just
about.
perfect. So we just got some diagnosis for anxiety, depression, PTSD, and ADHD, and just having someone take me serious and listen to me because I have a couple close friends who understand, but a lot of my family members and stuff like that don't take me serious. So that
Hmm.
has been super straining on my mental health. But now that I finally have some answers, I feel a lot better. I feel like I'm going in the right direction when it comes to taking better care of myself. I'm drinking more water when I
Yep.
stream. My stream make sure to drown me with water. Like you said, I like to walk on stream now. I'm trying
Hmm.
to get better about actually doing it.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
just trying to move around a little bit. Like you said, I also have a part-time job. I work as a photographer's assistant. We were working Monday through Thursday, but now it's going to go to Tuesday to Thursday. So I'm working 3 days a week now.
Hmm.
Still about 20 hours, but just a little
Hmm.
bit different time
Yeah.
frames and stuff.
Yeah.
But trying to work and stream
Hmm.
and network, taking time for yourself, making sure you're hanging out with family, making sure that you're seeing your significant other still.
Hmm.
It's a huge strain. There's a big part of me who thinks I need to stream a little bit less so I can work on getting other content out. But then I feel like anytime I start streaming less, my viewership drops off. So it's like
Hmm.
I don't know what to do.
It's hard.
um,
Like
mhm.
anytime you're making some sort of decision about your schedule, it's horrifying. I just did this. I think I was saying this to you before we went live, but I was doing this friendship and French roast every Sunday, and I was streaming 6 days a week, and I was just like, that's. I got burnt out, and I was like, something needs to change. So
Yeah.
it's like I made some changes to my content and changes to my schedule, and I think it's the best decision that I could have. My friend Lauren just changed her schedule yesterday, so in I had a conversation with her, and it was the same kind of thing. It's like trying to balance the time with family, the time with your significant other, and like making sure that those are a priority, because I always think about the women's panel that we went to at TwitchCon, and Jen Online said IRL before URL always, and
And
that
I
stick.
slapped your leg.
Yep,
I was
yep,
like, "That was so good."
yep. Yeah, so that sticks in my mind so much. Like,
Yeah.
it's really important to cultivate your relationships outside of streaming, because while I believe that Twitch and Discord and the friendships I've made online are very real to me, and they are my IRL friendships. But there's something to be said about like making sure that you're cultivating the relationships outside of streaming to keep you grounded and to like, you know, to share those experiences with your community too, to remind people to go touch grass or like hydrate or spend time with your family, you know,
Yeah.
because it helps you be better. So
Well,
yeah.
and then something I try to do is, again, I love my notes app. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
I have ADHD. I can't remember anything. I have no
Mm-hmm.
thoughts in my brain ever. So having a notes is so important to me. Something that I've done is I try to do it like at the beginning of the month or like right at the end of the last month. I try to go in and try to at least have a decent idea on when I want to stream the next month.
Mm-hmm.
That it can be a little rocky sometimes because sometimes last minute plans happen, sometimes you're not feeling great that day, little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
especially if you have, like, a set schedule, it kinda helps. I for sure do Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays.
Yeah.
I try to do
Mm-hmm.
a Saturday and a Sunday when I can, but that way I kinda know when I'm gonna stream, things like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
taking care of your family is super important, but I do have to say there is another side of it. What something that, like, really grinds my gears
Mm-hmm.
is streaming is a job to me as well.
100%.
And I've dealt with friends and family being like, "Just cancel stream. Come hang
Yep.
out. Do this." But I'm like, "Well,
Mm-hmm.
you won't take off of work.
Yep.
You won't request off." They're like, "Well, it's my job." This is my job.
This is my job. Mm-hmm.
Now, and I've told my friends like, "Hey, I normally schedule my streams like 2 to 3 weeks out. If you wanna do something, try to let me know." Of course, like I said, if something last minute pops up or something, for sure, send an invite. I just can't promise or guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and especially, like, if I'm doing a chill stream and something pops up, I don't mind canceling, but I don't like canceling after I announce something. But especially,
Yeah.
like, if it's a collab or something like this morning. If someone was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, let's hang out," I'd be like, "No, bitch, can't do it."
Yeah. Yeah,
You know?
like I have a meeting this morning, like essentially, like and
Yeah.
I struggle exactly with what you're talking about. And I used to be very much like, oh yeah, I can just cancel stream and like go hang out with somebody. And that started to make me resentful that it was like the people that I was hanging out with and stuff, like they didn't understand that it's like, yes, this is
Mhm.
something that I do, this is a job. And so I had to kind of change my mindset too, that it's like, yeah, you need to stay consistent and you have a commitment to your community. You have a commitment to your stream. It's a job. You are it as fun as it is, and all of the wonderful things that come along with it, and the fulfillment that we get from it. It's still a job at the end of the day, and it's really it's painful when people don't see it that way, that are in your like real life, or like people that are coming to visit, that they don't understand like why you can't just cancel it. And it's literally the same, like I can't just take a day off of work if you just show up, like. But yeah, if it's like 3 weeks
Yeah.
in advance, or you're coming to visit next month, yeah, like let's just figure it out.
Yeah.
If I have enough time in advance. But yeah, if you have like a special stream or something that you've announced, then yeah,
And
by all
Brita said,
means.
"Let's go to the Eras tour." Of course we're gonna
Oh
go.
fuck yeah, no, yeah. There's obviously like an exception to every rule. So yeah, if
Yeah.
you were like, let's go to the
Brita,
Eras
I
tour,
gotta
duh.
go. I went
Yeah,
Houston night 2. I
yeah.
got to see
Serena got to
Taylor
go.
Swift with my own eyes. It
I
was one of the most surreal moments of my life. I had goosebumps, real life goosebumps.
Rita got to go. She went with her daughter. And she was not like, she was a Taylor Swift fan, but she wasn't like us, like she wasn't like a huge Swiftie.
Like a
And she,
Swiftie.
yeah, she went to Cincy, night one, Cincinnati night one,
Oh,
and
nice.
she's
Houston. Houston night 2.
Houston. Yeah. Yeah, Houston night two. So Rita went and she came back and she was like, I understand now. And now she's a
I
full blown
understand.
Swiftie.
I get it. Oh my god, just being able to see that with my own eyes was insane.
That's
Cause we got
amazing.
floor tickets. Someone went insane and accidentally put it on their credit card. Whoops.
Oops.
Um, and I think we were in row 11, I think. And so, like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, we were not like super duper close, but we weren't super far either. You know,
Oh gosh.
me and Taylor Swift were breathing the same air.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
beautiful. Yeah, yeah. I
It was
didn't get to
insane.
go to the Eras tour. Really sad is a whole thing.
Yeah.
But I got to see her live for the 1989 tour and
Uh,
Reputation. Yeah,
oh my
and
God, Rep looks like one of the best concerts
oh my
ever.
gosh, it was so much fun. 1989 was also very cool. She had a lot of like lights and stuff, and there was this like
Yeah.
suspended bridge that like flew around. And we got tickets that were like the catwalk that came out. We were like 14th row against the catwalk, and we were 3 seats away from the catwalk. So like she was like right there.
Oh
And so
shit.
yeah, it was like it was an out of body experience. So
Yeah.
bless Taylor Swift.
And she looks in your direction. You're like,
She's looking at me. um,
ah.
yeah,
It was insane.
so funny. Cool. Okay, so we talked about cosplays, conventions. Um, so you have also a Patreon as well. So it's like you have so much different stuff. Like you have so many different things that you're balancing. And we talked about the plushies a little bit. So how many plushies do you have now? Do
Oh
you
my
even
God.
know?
The last time I counted, I had over 200.
Oh my
Haven't
God.
counted since then. I've tried to slow down. Like there was a point in my life where I thought I wouldn't have enough plushies. And I'm finally like, okay, I don't have enough yet, but I think I should slow down a little bit. Billy Goat, hi honey.
Oh,
Yeah,
hi, Billy.
200. My bed is completely full. I have a little hammock up here that's full. Um, Over here there's I just have a whole bunch everywhere. I think I have some shoved under my bed as well.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
um
Did you I think I remember this, like are there points in time where you purchase plushies like for your community members? Like you buy one that
So
like
yeah, actually, I've always tried to think of ways to make my channel points a little bit more like towards the Serena Kingdom and very niche to me. And one of my
mhm
favorite channel points, it is a little bit expensive. I think it's 100,000 channel points.
mhm
That if you redeem it, I will get a plushie and put you in my army back here. Um,
So cute. I love that.
Yeah, so we have a bunch of people. We have Gus and we have Sweets and Sloth and Sweet or Sloth, Hannah, Brett's back there, Sharon's back there. I have a whole bunch of plushies. So I Haley's back here. I'm trying to look about who's all back there. Um I'll let them kind of give me like a theme or an idea. But one of my favorite things, and I really get it from my grandmother, is thrifting. I love thrifting a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Oh, Ika is. I think Ika has two of them. Sorry, Ika. Ika, there's so many back here. I'm
Because like
sorry.
I've been here the whole time.
Um, yeah, Ika has a bunch. Um,
Oh my gosh.
but I
Holy
love
moly.
thrifting. Thrifting is like something that's very sentimental to me. Um,
That's
and I
self-care.
think,
I just want to say
yeah,
thrifting is self-care.
self-care a lot. And I like spending money, but I don't have money. I'm a broke
Mhm.
bitch. So I feel like when I go to the thrift store, I can allow myself to spend, you know, plushies are like 50 cents to like maybe $5 sometimes at thrift
Mhm.
stores. It's really kind of pissed me off recently. Thrift stores are getting more expensive, like with the squishmallows
Mhm.
and stuff. They're like $10, $15. And I'm like, no,
No,
this is a thrift
that's
store.
yeah, I should be getting these for like $1 at the most. Like, yeah, that's crazy. That's insane. I mean, because it's like the whole point of like thrift stores is secondhand, and it's like, and it's happening here too. Like we have thrift stores that the same thing is happening. That it's like the items are almost full price, like that I could,
Yeah.
as much as like I like the idea of recycling and reusing, but it's like if I'm gonna spend $25 on a t-shirt, like why don't I just go to the store and get a new one for myself.
Exactly.
So
Well,
and
and then I see like a lot of Shein stuff at thrift stores too, and they're like
mm-hmm.
$5, $10, and I'm like, that's Shane Price's,
Can just
you
get it
know?
off. Yeah. Yeah, for
You
sure.
know?
That's crazy.
But
So,
yeah, I have always loved plushies. I never envisioned having this many. On my other side, so not the same grandma I was just talking about for thrifting, but my other grandma, um, her husband worked as a beekeeper and a truck driver, so
we've
he
talked
had
about this.
bees. But
Hmm.
he was a truck driver. And sometimes he'd work, 2 weeks at a time, 3 weeks at a time doing the truck driving stuff. And he would, no matter where he went or what he was doing, he would always go get a plushie for her. And a lot of times it was like honey related, bee related, bear
Cute.
related, something like
Yeah.
that. So she had a whole bunch of bears, things like that. And it,
Cute.
it was all over her house and stuff like that. And I actually have a couple from her and stuff. So
Cute.
those mean so much to me. So I think I get a little bit of both from both my grandmas,
I love that.
um, but it's just something that I like and it makes me happy. Sometimes I get shitty comments, being like, you need to grow up. That's very kid related. And I'm like, bitch, this makes me
No.
fucking happy. I'm not fucking doing drugs. I'm not doing bad shit. I'm just here fucking
Hmm.
around and shooting people in Fortnite.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly. Yeah, and that's the comment about like growing up or whatever, like who cares? Like if you I what I've started to do this thing where I've been finding my old like 90s toys that I remember, and I've been finding them on eBay, and I've bought a couple of them, and it brings so much joy. It brings so much joy. Oh God, sorry, somebody just redeemed
No,
something. I forgot to turn off my redeems, and
it's
so
okay.
somebody just
It's
redeemed
okay.
something, and now you've disappeared. If I have a moderator here that can turn off all my redeems, that's something that I forgot to do before stream. That would be excellent. So anything that makes something happen. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
Ika's
Um,
right. Fuck
yeah,
them. If
if
growing
growing
up
up,
means
yeah,
boring, fuck
fuck off. Yeah, exactly. So anything that makes you happy, like this life is too short to just like we're not promised tomorrow. So if it's like if you want to fill your room with plushies and pink and you want to twirl around in a dress because it makes you feel good, then do it. It's not, as long as you're not hurting anybody, like there's no way to hurt anybody.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just like, why the fuck does it even matter? So yeah, no, good for you. That's good that you take the time to, that's self-care.
Yeah.
I'm saying the thrifting and the stuffies are self-care. So you are taking care of yourself. It's just in
Thank
ways
you.
that don't seem like it probably to you, but that's definitely self-care for sure.
No, it's
um
okay. Your
yeah,
scene switch.
what the heck is happening? Thank you so much. Okay, this is a problem. Thank you for telling me. Yeah, that's something
We
that I
have
forgot to
free
do.
will. We love free will.
Yeah, exactly.
I never forget Ika. How could I forget my Ikasaurus?
um okay. Sorry, I got like really derailed like with that whole, I'm like embarrassed. This is something about streaming that's so crazy, is like all the scenes and stuff, like something just happened and I'm embarrassed now. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm such a bad streamer because this happened and I don't I didn't take care of it beforehand. So I'm like embarrassed, but it's like not a
No,
big
you're
deal.
so good,
Yeah.
girl. And again, stream things happen.
Ray Ray,
I've
it's
never
not
had your stream
there's
go correct.
Ray Ray, there's no reason to say sorry. It's literally my fault for not turning on. I knew I was forgetting something when I was like, this feels too easy. Like I forgot to turn off all my redeems. So, cool. I was gonna say something and I completely forgot what it was that I was gonna say to
No,
you.
you're so
I'm just
good.
grateful that you're here. Oh, Fortnite. So
Mhm.
so your main focus, so you stream on Twitch and you stream on Kick, and you kind of split
Yes.
your time, right? You don't
Mhm.
multi-stream. Um,
So I've multi-streamed a little bit, but I feel like most of my community is Twitch solely for the most part. Now, if I'm only live on Kick, I can get some of my Twitch friends to go over there.
mhm.
But if I'm doing both, more people stay on Twitch, so then my Kick falls off. So I've
Sure.
tried to decide, do I want to multi-stream every now and again? Do I do want to do one or the other? And then just recently on Twitter and whatever you want to call it, there's been a lot of things saying that Twitch is really going to start pushing back on multi-streaming. So I might
Mhm.
pump the brakes on multi-streaming.
Yeah.
Um, just trying to figure out what works. I've always been told to put your eggs in different baskets. I love
Yeah.
streaming and it means the world to me. But like I said, I've been doing this for 5 years. I do a lot of Fortnite chatting, sometimes get ready with me, makeup, things like that. I like to host panels. I really love to do stuff
Yeah.
like that. They're hard to do, so I don't do them as often as I wish I could. Um, but because I'm a Fortnite streamer, I am in a very saturated category, so I don't see a lot of growth. So I
Mhm.
try to stream other places, I try to post other places, and just trying to grow any way that I can. Because as much as I love streaming and stuff, my average right now on Twitch is like 20 to 30, which I'm very
Mhm.
grateful for. I would just, every content creator wants to see some growth at some point, you know?
Right, exactly. And it's like when you feel like you're not seeing that growth, it's like, okay, what do I need to do I
Yeah.
need to change things up or which is something to talk about myself for a second. Like something that
No, go ahead.
I've done recently is I was a just chatting streamer and I was doing my stained glass on stream because I'm a stained glass artist. I do commissions, and part of like the whole commission process with me is you get to watch me make it live on stream. So I made a really difficult decision recently to no longer do my stained glass streams, and I am now on this journey to play every single Zelda game from beginning to end.
That's so fun. I'm so
Yeah,
excited for
I'm
you.
so
Yes.
excited about it. I'm so excited about it. But it's always like you're trying to figure out like what is the next step for me? Like do I need to switch things up? We were talking about, changing up your schedule a little bit, what works best for you. You have to have like a good stream life balance, like you know. So I think one of the I know Billy Goat is in chat right now. I'm gonna say something. Billy, you and Jen Online both have been really inspiring to me because you chose to do like the Souls games. Like you completely changed like your whole thing to just play the Souls games, and that's crazy. But that was really inspiring to see that it was like sometimes you just have to do something scared and you have to do something for yourself to make you happy and change things up a little bit to go in a different like on a different trajectory. But that's scary. But it's really scary to be like, I have this one thing, and the community that I have like really loves watching me do stained glass. But we talk about the numbers, and it's supposed to be something like you're not supposed to care about the numbers, but it's part of it. It's part of it, and we're talking about like this is a job. This is a job to us, and part of a job is reaching goals, and one of the biggest goals is to get to partner. Like we'll just be so for real. Like that is something maybe not every Twitch streamer wants, but I want it. I know, I think that you also want it. We've had discussions about it, and it's like getting to that 75 average feels impossible sometimes. It's like you get to a certain point where it's like you get to a higher number and you see growth and you're like, oh my gosh, I can finally do this. But then it tapers off, and then you're like, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? So it's just like a constant battle of like, what do I need to do? What are the things that I need to shake up and do
Yeah.
differently? But it's scary too, because
And like
how.
people say, like it goes back to like what you're doing when you're streaming, how consistent are you, and are you doing something that's very saturated? Because like I said, going back to Fortnite, unfortunately, as much as I love Fortnite, it is super, super saturated. And there's a lot of people out there who will tell you if you're streaming Fortnite right now, you will not break out because it's so freaking
Mm-hmm.
saturated. But then everyone also says, stream what you want to and be happy. And it's like, I
Mm-hmm.
like doing Fortnite. Like, I really honestly love playing
You
Fortnite.
love it.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like, okay, well, do I stop playing Fortnite? Because I don't know if it's the same for you when you play games. The only time I have to play games is mostly when I'm streaming.
Yep.
I don't have a lot of time off of stream to set and play games,
Yep.
you
Mm-hmm.
know?
The
So it's
same.
like, well, when I'm
Yeah.
when I'm streaming, I want to play what I want to play. I don't want to play games that are less saturated that could help with numbers, even though I would like to see higher numbers
Yeah.
because what happens when you hit that 50, 60 average on a game that you don't want to play forever? Because the
Mm-hmm.
second you stop playing games like that, then it's gonna fall again. So it's like, oh, I want to do this, but then that's not gonna work.
And
Some
and
advice that I'll go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like, and we're not even. It's not even guaranteed, right? It's like you could pick
Yeah,
a game to play that's like I don't know. You could listen to whoever say like you should play this game and you will see your growth or whatever. It's like okay, well, what if I hate that game? I don't like. Maybe I
exactly.
play it and maybe I don't want to play it every single day. And that's great that it works for some people, but it's like I don't want to be. I don't want to get there based on something that somebody else told me would work, you know? Like I want like we were talking
Yeah,
about like I want to be happy and I want to play the things that I want to play and I want to be the person that I am and I want that to work and unfortunately it doesn't always work. But I feel like there's so much in so much of this that is pure luck. Like there's luck and you just have to be in the right place at the right time. Networking, like you said, like I
networking.
networking and going to conventions, I feel like you said earlier, is huge. Like being able to go and
Hmm.
meet people in person, it gives a different level of like connection that you can't get. And then once you meet people in person, it's just like it's a completely different experience. Like it's like you feel more connected to them. But yeah, so I lost my train of thought. I was just thinking about how much I love
Yeah, but
going to
like you
convention meeting
said,
people.
meeting people at conventions is so important. But I just saw a post to um one of my I can't remember exactly what it said. She was like, just because we stream on the same platform doesn't mean we're friends or that we're
100%.
family. And that goes back to conventions too. You can meet these people online that you know about, but that doesn't always necessarily immediately mean that you're friends with them. Whenever I
Right.
met you, we had a different relationship that we were friends.
Yeah.
But there's
Mhm.
other creators who we've met at TwitchCon, DreamHack, other anime conventions, Comic Cons, things like that,
Mhm.
where you might have only seen them once or twice on Twitter. That
Mhm.
definitely doesn't mean you're friends, but that could be a start of a friendship, you
Right.
know? And I think that
Exactly.
goes back to creating healthy boundaries.
Yeah.
I think that also goes back into like the viewership side, a streamer side too. Um, there's some people out there, there's some Twitch streamers or streamers in general who will say viewers cannot be your friends.
Mhm.
I don't know how I feel about that. Yes,
Mhm.
parasocial friendships and relationships can happen very
Yes. a
easily here
hundred
on the
percent believe.
internet.
Mhm.
Um,
Hi, Rody.
I already it's really hard because I agree a little bit, but then there is friends I've met on streaming in the content creation world, so it's like, oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's just like meeting people in real life too, right? It's like sometimes you meet people and you have a connection and you become friends. Like you and I, like we met on the internet and we became friends and
Yeah.
but there are other people that I have met in the same capacity that I've met you in and we're acquaintances but we're not as close as you and I are. I'm not
Yeah,
DMing them and saying like
exactly.
what the fuck like you know.
It's really funny because I'm sure that we've had something like that in the meantime. Yeah,
Oh
Rhoda's
yeah.
right. You can know a bunch of people, but it doesn't mean you're friends with them. And kind of like Billy Goat said too, like it happens with streamers too, and it's hard because at conventions I've had other streamers come up to me and kind of want to follow me around and do some of the events I'm doing or going out and eating with us, and they weren't necessarily invited, and then you have that awkward thing of like, I'm being nice to this person, but I don't really know this person, and
Mhm.
it's rough because when
Yeah.
I'm at conventions, like you said, I like to talk to people, I like to network, I like to mingle, and it's like I never know how far I'm pressing on someone, but I know better not to like invite myself somewhere or
100%.
somewhere, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's like I don't and I almost like I hinder myself too with that. Um I will never invite myself somewhere. I will never do that. But I'm to a point where I'm so afraid to talk to people like when I go to conventions like easily talk to you no problem but like this past DreamHack in Texas I was really proud of myself for actually like approaching people and saying hello because like I am so afraid of approaching somebody that I see online and being like hi like it's me like hi like I don't know what it is but that really hurts me because it's like I could be making those kinds of connections and you know
And you never know what's going on in people's heads too, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Um, I feel bad sometimes when people come up to me at conventions because sometimes I'm super overwhelmed and sometimes I don't recognize people
Mhm.
immediately. Um, as much as I love DreamHack, one thing that isn't really bad about DreamHack, but I just struggle with DreamHack is it's so dark on the convention floor.
Yes. What is
Um,
up with that? I'm old, okay? I cannot see when it's dark.
So I guess it's just so so people can be comfortable, you know, like walking around the convention all day. Because I'm sure if they had bright lights, my
Yeah,
head would
that's
be on fire
true.
even quicker than normal. But
Yeah.
I can't see people. I can't recognize people in the dark. Like a
Mhm.
lot of times at DreamHack, when I saw people, it would be closer to the kick booth where it was a little bit brighter, or outside of the convention, like where the lights were and stuff, and I could see people's faces. You know, and
Mhm.
sometimes I feel bad, like if someone comes up to me and they tell me who they are and I don't recognize them immediately. And I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I just tried my
Yeah.
best.
Yeah. Right. That's why I think it's really important. Like, something that I always say is like, when you go to a convention, do not assume that somebody knows who you are. Like, I always introduce myself. Like, I'm always like, hey, I'm Lady Amalthea. Like, then it's like, oh, yeah, like, I know who you are. Like, I don't ever want to feel like, to make anybody uncomfortable, to because I'm uncomfortable if somebody says hi to me and I'm like, I have no idea who you are. Like, I'm so sorry, but like, I don't know you. But I don't know. It's just like a what am I trying to
But
say?
I think it's I think it's good on boundaries too to like be like, hey, I'm
100%.
SerenaPariss, you know? And there's a lot of people who look at me like I'm dumb when I say that. They're like, yeah, bitch, I know, I know who you are. Like, you don't know. And I never want to assume that someone does know me. You know, like I said,
Yeah.
I've been in the streaming world for about 5 years now. I feel like there is a decent amount of people who do know me, but I never want to like assume it, you know?
Yeah.
And then I always ask people if I can touch them. Like every time I've met
Yes. Yep.
BB Jess, I'm always like, "Hey,
Mhm.
can I hug you?" She's like, "Girl, you've asked already." And I'm like,
Yeah.
I just I don't know. It's weird because if you're my friend and I know you, I don't mind a hug.
Yeah.
But, like, if
Mhm.
I'm meeting you for, like, the first, second time and people's boundaries can change, and if you're having a rough day or if you're not
100%.
feeling yourself, sometimes you don't wanna hug. And
Mhm.
also a little TMI, but at conventions, sometimes people get
People
sweaty and
are
gross.
stinky. I'm
So
so
sometimes
sorry,
people don't
but
wanna hug either, so I totally
yeah.
get it if someone wants to
Yeah.
high five or fist bump or just peace
Yeah.
sign, you know,
Yeah.
things like that.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's the consent is so important too. Yeah. And I think a lot of people, and to be perfectly honest with you, I am a very touchy feely person. And like, I do a thing where like I will reach out, like if I'm talking to somebody, I will reach out and like touch their arm. And that's something that
Yes.
I have had to reel in and realize that I'm doing. It's never been an issue, but it's like it could definitely be an issue, you know. It's like
Yeah.
I'm very much like I will just come up to you and hug you. Like like
Well, in that aspect, I'm a hitter when it comes to my
mhm.
friends. Like you
Yeah.
said, whenever we were at TwitchCon and we were at the
Yeah.
Twitch Women's Meetup, and Jen was talking, I was slapping your leg,
Yeah,
I'd be
uh-huh.
punching my friends. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, pay
Yeah.
attention. Like, and I'm like, oh wait, I should put my hands to my shelf.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
mature here.
Yeah. So yeah, like physically affectionate, you know, it's like
Oh my God.
you feel comfortable.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
Rita's message.
As
I'm
long as
Taylor
Taylor Swift is
Swift.
no, oh, Rita, I was gonna say this. That's what I was gonna say. Is like Taylor introduces herself to everybody, and she's freaking
Yeah.
Taylor Swift. Like, yes, we should always be introducing
Hi,
ourselves to
I'm
people.
Taylor.
Hi, I'm
No
Taylor.
shit, bitch.
No shit. Oh gosh.
Uh,
Oh, okay. So we have probably about 10 minutes left.
okay.
So if chat, if you have any questions for Serena, we're obviously happy to just keep yapping for the next 10 minutes. But if you guys have any questions for Serena about her content creation journey, I don't know, her Twitch setup, Rhodey wants to know how many plushies.
Brody, over 200. I think I saw Brett said he was gonna guess 245. I don't know. I've stopped counting. when I got back from DreamHack, I put all of them on the side and like re-stood them up because sometimes they start to fall and stuff. And over in this corner, it was almost as tall as I was, the stack of plushies on top of each other, and it was very insane.
Love
Oh my
that.
goodness, what is the most valuable plushie you have? See, that's a good question because sometimes people ask what my favorite one is, and I'm like, you can't ask what the favorite one is because that's
Hmm.
not fair to all of them.
You're gonna
Um,
hurt their feelings.
um,
um,
I don't know where it's at. This one of my grandma
oh
ones.
yeah.
It's the little poo one. This was from one of my grandmas, and then I have a donkey back here. She had a donkey named Cotton Top. Um, so
Oh.
stuff like that is very important to me. The family ones, but the ones I've got for my friends too. Like I said, I have a Channel Point Redemption, and they're they're all very special to me, and they
Mm-hmm.
make me happy.
Yeah. Markless wanted to know, he said, how did you grow in confidence and where does that come from? So you are a very
Can
confident
I
person.
can I get a little bit deep? Do you care?
Yeah, whatever you're comfortable saying.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Mm-hmm.
We'll do a little bit of a trauma dump. So if you want to lurk away, tab away, go ahead and do so. But like I said, when I was about 15, 16 years old, really what got me into modeling is I was very suicidal. Wasn't
Mm-hmm.
happy. I was getting bullied a lot. And I almost ended my life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what really got me on my feet was being like, I can do anything and I can do everything. When I started modeling at 15, 16, I was a size 0, super skinny.
Mm-hmm.
I had
Yep.
people talk shit about me then. I've had
Mm-hmm.
people talk shit about me now. People are going to talk shit. People are going to be mean. People are going to be fucking hurtful, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have to love yourself. And sometimes that is the hardest thing. And that's a journey that you're going to have for the rest of your life is loving yourself, coming to terms with yourself, being the better version of who you were yesterday. I don't like competing with other people, but I do want to compete with myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I started modeling, I watched a fashion show for the very, very first time. And I looked at those girls and I was like, not one of them looks nervous or scared. And I had said that out loud. And some random old lady next to me was like, no, they're nervous. They're just not showing it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a constant reminder. Just go out there, do it, put on a face. People don't know you're
Mm-hmm.
scared or nervous. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
just have to believe in yourself. And if you believe in yourself, you got
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah, for sure. What I remember we did at DreamHack we did the lip sync battle and I remember just like
Hmm.
you were so confident up there and I was like, "Oh my God, like she's got this." And you came backstage and you were like, "I blacked out." Like
Yeah,
you're
I
like, "I have
blacked
no
out.
idea."
I don't
You're like, "I have
remember.
no idea what I said."
Yeah. I felt really bad. Tracy and Candy and Chris were my backup dancers, and we were trying to talk beforehand, and I was just kind of breathing.
Uh-huh.
But you go out there, you put a smile on. I feel like some
Yeah.
of my pageant experience and stuff helps with that. Just putting on
Yeah.
putting on a brave face. You got to be a
Yeah.
bad bitch.
Yeah, 100%. Something that I just wanted to say really quick, that this is making me feel a little bit emotional. I have never spoken with somebody else that said this such a specific thing that you were a size 0, and people made fun of you because it was the exact same for me. I was a size 0, double 0, and the same age, 15, 16, and it's people will outwardly say things to you about your appearance because they think it's okay because you're skinny, so it's like they think like things are easy for you and they don't see you at the I don't know if you had this experience, but they don't see you in the dressing room trying to put things on, trying to find things that fit, and everything's way too big
Especially when
on
you're
you.
tall too,
Yeah.
because then it's
Mm-hmm.
I mean, being a woman in general trying to fucking find clothes is a fucking
100%.
joke,
Right.
honestly.
Yeah. So, but I just wanted to say, like, I'm so glad that you shared that, and thank you for sharing all of that. And
Yeah, and it's
is
just a constant reminder when I have braces on. I don't know if you guys can tell. So I had crooked teeth. People always judge me for having crooked teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have braces. People talk shit about me having braces. Whenever I get them up,
Mm-hmm.
people are gonna talk shit about my teeth or my hair
Mm-hmm.
or me being fatter than I was when I was
Yep.
15 or 16. On Facebook, I get comments from old men being like, "You need to get back to how you were." When I was 15 or 16, you want me to look like that again?
Oh my God. Right. That's messed up.
Like,
I'm a
I
woman
know
now.
I've
Like,
gained
yeah.
yeah, I'm 27, I know I've gained some weight. I would like to lose a little bit, but I don't know if I ever wanna be another 0, because then my titties
No.
and my ass are gone. I like my titties and my ass,
Exactly.
you know?
Flat ass, flat chested. Like,
Yeah.
you can't win. Like, no matter which way you go, like, you cannot win. It's
Yeah.
absolutely impossible. But,
Is there a
um,
plushie that you love? Is that the question?
I
Or
think
wait, if
Billy,
you
I
know the
think
text.
Billy, I think Billy was just putting hearts in chat, but she started to write a question but forgot to delete it and just wanted to send the
Okay.
hearts. That's what I deducted.
No, it's okay.
I think that there was another question. Let's see who said this. Something about bread. Would you ever slap a
Oh,
friend in with a piece of bread? Brett wants to know.
um, I do it again. Yeah, at DreamHack Dallas, one of the goals for getting me to Dallas was slapping Brett with a tortilla. I forgot to get a tortilla. So I was like, "Oh, well, bread will have to work." And it was the funniest thing ever. I wish I was recording this. When you go to DreamHack TwitchCon any convention, a lot of times they check your bags and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I put it in a sandwich bag and it was at the top of my bag. So I went through security. I opened it and his face when he saw the piece of bread was just like, "Here you go." He didn't lift the bread up, didn't look underneath anything else, you know.
He was just like, okay.
Yeah, he was like, I didn't question this bitch.
Oh, that's so funny.
Uh,
Oh my God, I love
But yeah,
that.
we got to slap bread, or we got to slap bready with bread, and I'm very grateful for all of my friends who have been here. I've seen a bunch in chat.
Yeah, yeah,
Mr. Clean and Ika, Tracy was here earlier.
yeah,
Hannah was here. Anybody else who's lurking from my community or ladies community, thank you guys for hanging out with us
yeah.
this morning. I
Mm-hmm.
hope you got to know me a little bit more. I like to yap. Something I didn't get to talk about yet is I have 3 beautiful kitty cats.
Yeah.
I have Clyde, Khaleesi, and Rainy. Um, Something that I also struggle with about being 27 is that I don't know if it's a social norm everywhere, but something that you're like, especially here in America, women are taught that they need to be mothers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And being
Yep.
27, I have a lot of other friends who are moms, and I love that for them. But a lot of times I feel left out. Not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily that I'm missing out on something because I know that I don't want kiddos.
Yes. Yeah. I'm the
But
same.
sometimes I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I don't belong. Sometimes people don't take me as serious because I don't have a family. I don't have kids. And
Mm-hmm.
even with like streaming, there's a lot of people who look down on streaming. I don't have a professional job.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I do have a Patreon pushes people the wrong way sometimes, and it's just like I'm living my life, bitch,
Yeah,
truly.
no,
And
exactly. And
that's all I can
it
do.
doesn't matter what people think, and it's you just have to do the things that bring you joy, and that's all you can do for sure. Oh my gosh, excuse me. Um, yeah. Okay. Well, I think that we're pretty much out of time. Is there anything else that you wanted to? Oh, I always ask everybody this question at the very end is what is being a good friend? What does friendship mean to you?
One of my favorite things about friendship and just life in general is you have to know how to love yourself. You need to know your own love languages. You need to be comfortable letting other people know how you want to be loved. And that can be so hard telling your friends, significant others, siblings, family, whoever. It's really hard telling people how you want to be loved because you just kind of expect it. You're like, "Oh, well this
Mm-hmm.
person should know how to love me." I'm assuming that they know how. People aren't always taught how to love. People don't always know love languages, things like that. With that said, also though, if you want people to love you the way that you want to be loved, you need to love others the way that they need to be loved.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think loving people isn't just your significant other. You need
100%.
to love your siblings. You need to love your family. You need to love the people who show up for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I'm trying to think of a couple examples. My younger brother will not communicate over phone. Very fucking
Mm-hmm.
annoying and it pisses me off. He's actually one of his ex-girlfriends broke up with him because he wasn't very communicational. You know, he wasn't
Mm-hmm.
very good on communicating. And I told him, I was like, I know that you're like this, but you have to meet the other person at least a little bit. You know, you're taking a shit, send a text, send a meme. You don't have to sit here and write fucking paragraphs to that person, but you need to meet them in the middle. He's a
Mm-hmm.
very in-person person.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, though, that girlfriend needed to see him in person more. Like, there needs to
Mm-hmm.
be half and half going on.
Yeah.
One of my good friends, Ashley, just got told she didn't make it into one of the colleges that she wanted to. You know, so I brought her flowers the other day and she said that was one of the sweetest things anyone has done for her. And
Mm-hmm.
I all I did was bring her flowers, you know.
Right.
She said it really made her day. They were beautiful. And my biggest I've seen it on TikTok and it really sticks with me is everyone wants a village, but no one wants to be a villager. And being a
Mm-hmm.
villager means picking your friend up from the airport. There's
100%.
so many I've seen it all over Twitter. It's stop asking your friends to pick you up from the airport. Get an Uber. What?
No, I will come pick you up. Like, that's not a
Like,
problem. Like, if you
I
need me
think
to
you
be there, I'll
always,
be there. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's always okay to ask, maybe never assume things, you know?
100%.
Um, but like pick your friend up from the airport. Um,
Help them
do
move.
random things. Yeah, help them move is the good
That's
part.
huge.
Bring
Yeah.
them flowers, send them a text, show up for them.
Mm-hmm.
Be a villager. You know, if
Mm-hmm.
someone invites you somewhere, fucking show up. If you
Yeah.
can't show up, then you plan the next thing. I
Mm-hmm.
I have lost so many friendships because I'm the friend who plans things, does things, and then
Mm-hmm.
no one shows up and I'm so fucking tired about it. Again,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you have kids, you get sick, I understand an excuse. But
Mm-hmm.
once I have the ball and I throw it to you, you need to
Mm-hmm.
plan something. You need to do something. And I feel like people don't like to hear that. People
Mm-hmm.
always want to be invited to things. I love being invited to things. I'm
Yeah.
sure you guys do too. But you guys better do some of the inviting. You guys better do some of the planning. You guys
It's
show the fuck
true. It's
up.
true. No, it's so true because it's like it's the people pleasing thing too. It's like we probably have spent our whole lives taking care of ourselves and doing everything for ourselves, and it's just expected of us to take care of things. So it's like when you get to a point where you become an adult and you realize like, oh, I should be receiving the same care that I'm giving to other people. It can get really frustrating because you're like, I'm done. I'm like done being the person who always reaches out. And then it's like, why did our friendship dissolve? It's like, oh, because I stopped reaching out to you every single week to make sure you're okay. Where it's like I'm having a hard time and you're not even there for me, you know? So yeah, so
Yeah.
I love the analogy of the villagers. Like I love that so much because yeah, it's like it takes a village for everything. And yeah, a lot of people don't want to participate, but they want to be taken care of. So that's
Yeah.
great. I love
Well,
that
and
so
that's
much.
why I think it goes back to like love languages and stuff. It's
Hmm.
sometimes it's hard to be a villager. Sometimes it's
Yes.
hard to show up. You know, especially in times of like the unknown.
Yeah.
Like when it
Hmm.
comes to like women who are going through postpartum. Every
Hmm.
woman goes through that a little bit differently, so you don't know how to show up for your friend. Whenever your friend loses a loved one, grief is
Hmm.
weird and you don't always know how to show up for people, you know? And then everyone sends a text, let me know if you need anything. But no one wants to respond to something like that,
They
you
can,
know?
and
That
sometimes people don't know what they need to.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
So that's like you don't really want to like do too much because you don't know what's going on with them, you
Hmm.
know?
Right.
Um, but that's when you like send the flowers, you send a gift card, you make a meal and you leave it on their front porch.
Hmm.
You do something to
Hmm.
show that like, hey, I'm here. Because like I said, everyone goes through different things, but being able to have an open line of communication is very important.
Hmm.
And I'm still learning this. I think a lot of people think of love as like just for their significant other. I do agree you should love your significant other, but I think you should love the fuck out of your friends and everyone who loves you and supports you too.
Hmm.
You know, it doesn't
Absolutely.
have to be a fucking weird love or anything like that, but like just show up for your fucking homies.
Show up for your friends. Yeah, absolutely. Man, I love that so much. It's so true. So true. Okay.
I'm trying to read chat, make sure I didn't miss
Yeah,
anything.
you're fine. Yeah, go for it. So I think Serena, thank you so much for sharing so much with me.
Yeah, of
I have
course.
enjoyed so much like getting to know you a little bit better, and I feel like we could probably sit here for another hour and yap
Yeah.
about so many different things. But I want to be respectful, you know, obviously of your time and your day, and to chat too. It's Sunday, so if you guys make sure you get some rest today if you can. Drink a lot of water. SerenaPariss, you guys can do exclamation point today, and you'll find her beacon link, and you can follow her all over the internet. Don't follow her in real life. That's really fucking weird. Um, and
Yeah,
yeah, you can catch
zero.
her on Twitch, live on Kick, and she's all over the internet. So smash that follow, turn on those
Smash it!
notifications.
Yeah, but today ain't doing nothing till later.
Yeah.
I am gonna be doing a new game today. I'm doing the Date Everything. It's a dating simulator.
Ooh, oh,
Yeah, I'm
that's
really
fun. What
excited.
time are you
Yeah.
streaming today?
I think I have it as 3 o'clock Central
Central
Time.
time. Okay, cool. So a few
Yeah.
hours. So yeah, guys, go
Yeah.
check out Serena today on Twitch. You're streaming on Twitch today, or
Yeah,
yeah,
Twitch
okay,
today.
Twitch today.
Twitch
Awesome.
or Twitch.
Yeah. So that's it. I think. I'm so happy that I got to talk to you. So what we can do now, I'm gonna blindside you with this, but do you have
Okay.
anybody live right now that you would like us to
Okay.
raid?
Great question. Let me look. Before we rate out, guys, I do want to say thank you guys
Yeah.
again for being here. Another excellent friendships.
French hips and
French
French
roast.
friend roast episode.
I'll give you some hips, chat.
Woo!
I just want to say I'm so grateful for all of you guys. Y'all mean the world to me. You're streaming on Kick and Twitch tonight. I'm not gonna multi-stream. I put that on. I put a multi-stream on before I thought about it. I was like, we're not gonna multi-stream. But yeah, I want to say thank you guys for being here. I hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday. Thank you guys for being a part of my community, ladies community. Thank you guys for just showing up and being bad bitches. Take care of yourself today. Drink some fucking water. If you have cat pictures, send them to me because I love kitty cat pictures. I'm gonna see if anybody is on right now. Da 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 da.
Yeah, thanks
Oh my
guys so
God.
much for being here.
I do have to say this is an early morning time, so I don't. Let me see.
I can, if
Oh
you don't have
goodness.
anybody, I can find someone, but I always want to open it up to who we're with for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say right now, like normally I have to scroll forever, but I don't have a lot of people. I have a couple
Okay.
people on, but no, yeah.
Yeah.
If you have
Okay.
somebody, we can.
All right.
You drink
Cool.
water. Okay.
I think I think we'll just head over to my friend Nightlight Night. She's playing LA Noir. Is that how you say it? She actually is back from she's back from like maternity. She just had a baby. So she's
Oh,
streaming
nice.
like every Sunday now. So she's like getting back into it. So I think we'll go say hey to Nightlight Night. So guys, if you want to, if you're from Serena's community and you have Serena's emotes when we raid over to Nightlight Night stream, go ahead and use those. I also have a raid call. If you guys have Serena's raid call, please feel free to use that. And if you want to take the Whimsy Stampede emotes or whatever this is
Oh my
called,
God, that is so cute.
if
Yes,
you guys want to
precious
use
hugs.
that. But yeah, please flood the chat with Serena's emotes as well. And thank you again, Serena, so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this was so fun. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that we got to chat. So,
Got to hang out and vibe.
yeah, for sure. Okay, well, ending is always super awkward. We're ending. This is it. Yeah, Serena Stampede with Lady Melty. Oh, I love that. Yeah, look at that.
That
Good
is so
job,
cute.
Ikagawa.
Barbies. Bye, Barbies.
Bye, Barbie. Bye,
Have a
Barbie.
great day. I see you later.
Bye, guys. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and hit the button. So I'll see you guys over there. Thanks again. Bye.